morning, everybody. My name is Stephen Murray, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of The Gift of Giving. For those who are tuning in for the first time, this program pays tribute to all the foundations, nonprofits, and charities here in Nevada, making our world a better and brighter place. Our guests are those who have chosen to affiliate themselves with these organizations. These are the angels and unsung heroes who are really making our world much brighter and better. Today's guest is no exception. She's the Executive Director of Northern Nevada Rave Family Foundation. Her name is Corinne Vivek. Welcome to the show, Corinne, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's going to be a real pleasure. I know it is. And I know your schedule is very hectic and very busy, so it's doubly appreciated. I'd like to start, if I may, by asking you to give a little brief background of the foundation and how long it's been around.
So the Northern Nevada Rave Family Foundation was founded in 1995. So we're almost celebrating 28 years in October. So just about a month away. And we started with a 3-year grant from the state of Nevada. And our need was so great, we were able to then become our own 501c3. And here we are 28 years later, serving families with children with special needs.
Wow, that's a long time to have been around. And so you're probably growing and growing and growing.
We are. In fact, the last 10 years have been our biggest growth years. We have grown over 500% in that time, and we've had 10 years of consecutive growth. So we're serving more children, more families, and providing more opportunities than ever before.
Wow, that's marvelous. It truly is. And I saw also on your website, you're obviously in Northern Nevada because that's part of your title. But you cover Reno, Sparks, Elko, and Carson City. Now, do you have buildings or sites in all of these different towns? Or one location? You've got buildings in all 4 of these towns?
Yeah, so we don't own any of them, actually. In the Reno Sparks community, we partner with High Sierra Industries, which is another nonprofit organization, and we take up about 6,500 square feet for our Rave Family Center and Junior and Teen Center, and that's what we call our home site. And then we utilize the Rock Church in Sparks, where they give us free space twice a week. And then in Carson City, we partner with the Boys and Girls Club of Western Nevada, and they give us free space on Thursdays and Saturdays. And then we partner with Head Start in Elko, and they give us free space. And we also provide 2 sessions there a week.
Boy, that takes some manipulating and oversight on behalf of a certain number of people. I'm sure that's a lot of oversight you've got there. Before we get into the specifics of this organization, what made you join Northern Nevada Rave Family Foundation, and how long have you been with the corporation?
Yeah, so I was introduced to the organization 18 years ago. And I became just a once a month part-time respite provider. So I would come in and I would provide care to families who have children in foster care once a month. I was a preschool teacher for the university at the time, and just a little side job and giving back to the community felt good. And that led to me being offered a position as the director of programs for 6 years. And then when the previous executive director, Ricky Robb, moved on to a new job with the state of Nevada, she thought that I would be a good next executive director. And I was like, no way, that sounds terrible. It's a lot of work, right? But the more I thought about it and the more I really, searched my heart and soul, I believed that if it wasn't me, then would there be a better executive director that could come in and lead the organization the way that it had been led. And so I said yes to that adventure in September of 2012. And so I am entering my 12th year as the executive director. And I really, really wanted to show the need of the organization, so much so that I didn't even know what the need was. And we, over the years, have recently found out that there's over 10,000 children that would qualify for our services in the Washoe County, Reno Sparks area. And there's thousands of children across the state of Nevada. In fact, the number that we have found is 61,000 children would qualify for programs like ours across the whole state of Nevada. So right now we've reached out and branched into Elko and Carson City, but we really strive to be across the entire state of Nevada, hopefully within the next 10 years.
Wow, that's a very ambitious goal and undertaking. And do you plan yourself staying with the corporation that long? Is that your hope?
Yeah, I have no reason to want to move on. I feel like there's still a lot of work to be done. And I still feel that I am the best person to lead the organization at this time. And so unless something changes between now and then, it will be, my hope to stay on with the organization and keep making a difference.
Good. Good for you. It's lovely and very heartwarming to hear stories like that, Corinne. What impressed me about your foundation, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure, it seems to be three-pronged. One, you've got the children with special needs who you're dealing with, and then you're also providing respite to the families. And then the third prong is that you're encouraging teenagers or children to come and befriend these children with special needs. Have I got that correct? Is that the sum and substance?
Yeah, absolutely. So Rave itself stands for respite, which is a temporary break for families. In our case, we serve families with children with special needs, but a lot of people have heard of respite for the elderly. But we do the same type of thing. So in order for us to give parents a true and full break, we want to provide high quality care for their children. So that's all of their children in the home. The child that qualifies the family, that has the diagnosis, a disability, special health care need, maybe they're in foster care or adoptive care, maybe they have a mental health concern or a behavior issue that the family is really burdened by and feeling like they really need an extra set of hands and a break from time to time. And then we use youth, junior high and high school students to come into our center, and we mentor them to work with the children. So we have paid staff that oversee each and every one of our volunteers, and we pair them up with the kids that we're serving. So again, with the disability or without the disability, every child that comes in, we strive to give them a one-to-one buddy during the time that they're with us.
That sounds great. And I'd like to talk about each one of these three prongs in detail after our first break. So right now, let's just take a break and hear a word from our sponsor, and we'll be right back and discuss more about the foundation.
As a proud sponsor of the Gift of Giving, Thomas Dermatology is deeply rooted in its Las Vegas community and is always looking for ways to give back and continue to serve patients of the Las Vegas Valley. Amidst the rapidly and ever-changing landscape of healthcare delivery, both nationally and locally, our singular focus on patient care has remained constant. We have grown responsibly, enabling our team of skincare experts to provide all the benefits of a large practice while maintaining the care and relationships that comes with a small, private, local practice. For patients with cosmetic interests, Thomas Dermatology has an extensive aesthetics department featuring a team of experts who provide cosmetic injections like Botox and dermal fillers, as well as a full suite of state-of-the-art lasers and med spa services. The newest addition to the clinic is a facial plastic surgery division, allowing us to treat the aging face more comprehensively. These services are complemented by our extensive inventory of skincare products, offering patients the necessary and evidence-based ingredients to improve and maintain the health and look of their skin at home. Thomas Dermatology strives to be a part of every step in the patient's journey to healthy skin. We look forward to welcoming you and your families.
Welcome back to the program, and I'd like to thank our sponsor, Thomas Dermatology, for the care and professionalism that they've provided me, certainly over the years that I've been seeing them. And welcome back, Reen. Thank you for staying with us. Just one thing before we get into the three prongs of your program. Is this like is it a daycare center, or do people stay overnight at this organization, or do families drop their children off, or people during the day and then pick them up at the end of the day?
It's like a childcare facility or center or a before and after school, program. But we primarily do it. It's a smaller amount of time. So our respite sessions run 3 hours each session. We'd have a daytime session Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we have evening sessions Tuesday through Friday. And then we also serve families on Saturday as well. So we are closed to the public on Sundays and Mondays at this time. But the families are offered 3 to 4 respite sessions per month. And so they go on and schedule those sessions. And our hope is that they're not using our facilities to go to work. Our hope is that they're recharging their batteries and taking that break, that they are reconnecting with their partner or going to the grocery store in peace, reading a book, taking a nap, going to the gym. Sometimes our families will use it to go out to dinner or go to a movie or sit in a coffee shop. It just kind of depends. But our goal is for them to recharge. And that's what respite is all about, to just, hopefully help them to feel full again, fill that cup.
Gotcha. So that explains how the families are dealt with, for want of a better phrase. Getting to the special needs children themselves. Well, first, you said it's not just children, it's also seniors as well.
No, but respite itself, a lot of people identify respite care for seniors and the elderly, caring for the elderly. We actually serve children 3 months through 22 years. And so that's our demographic. We have the Rave Family Center serves children 3 months through 6 years. The Junior Rave program serves children 7 to 12. And the Teen Rave program serves children 13 through 22. And so we have some young children, and then we have some young adults that we work with. And we really, we're here to play and enjoy and have a safe and fun social environment for children of all abilities under our roof while they're being cared for and given a fun opportunity while their parents take that break. Often our families say that the first few times that they utilize us, they sit in the parking lot and wait because they just believe that they're going to get that phone call that says your child is too difficult, come and pick them up. And that's because they've been programmed that way. They get called from school or childcare, or before school or after school, or they got kicked off the bus. They really do they do have a hard time finding that place that they get to stay and belong. And we are really passionate about the fact that Rave is a place for everybody and that we can really enjoy their time there, and that we're there to handle those hard times so that their parents don't have to deal with that. We're giving them 3 hours to not worry about maybe those challenging behaviors or meltdowns or whatever they're experiencing at home. And that's really what Rave is all about, is providing a safe and fun environment so kids can just be kids.
And you said you have kids from 3 to 22. How do you spend your time with them? How do you keep them engaged? And do you provide education, or do they play games, the video games, or Monopoly, or things like that? How do you cover such a vast age range? And do you tend to make it more educational or more entertainment, or a combination of both?
Combination of both. But we do have two different centers. So we're serving our younger children, which is actually infants, three months through 6 years. And we have an infant and toddler room. So they're playing all kinds of games and, reading books and rocking in the rocking chair and having mealtime and things like that. And then our 3 to 6 year olds, they're playing, like they would at a preschool. They're playing tag and riding tricycles and playing in the sand and working with Play-Doh or slime and doing art activities. We have a dramatic playroom where they can play kitchen and grocery store. We have a jungle room where they have a climbing structure and they get to climb and slide and play in there. We have an art and sensory room where they get to make all kinds of messes. We have what we call our calming room, and that's a space where kids that might be feeling overstimulated, they can kind of go in. It's set up as a space room, and so there's a little rocket ship in the corner, and they've got twinkle lights on. And then we have a block room that has all of our construction zones. So we have Legos and cars and building equipment and things in there. Super fun. And then we have a small outdoor area where they play. So just like a childcare facility might have, that's the best visual. But we do weird things, like we bring bikes inside and we create roads, and they get to ride their trikes inside when it's cold outside. And then our team, we do so many fun things. So we might do science projects and art projects, but we play board games. We have many Uno, big tournaments with Uno. The kids love playing Wii together and karaoke. We have different kinds of video gaming opportunities. We have a little gaming lounge. We have computers that they can work on and play on. I mean, it just really varies. We have a basketball hoop outside, so they can play basketball, air hockey, foosball. I don't know, you name it, and we either have it or we want to get it.
It sounds like you have it all there already. Hold that thought, because we're going to come back after a word from our other sponsors.
At Lucia Capital Group, we've been helping people manage risk and plan for their future through some of the most challenging market conditions. Volatility in the stock market will never go away, so it's really all about your strategy and how you react to it. Our bucket strategy aims to help you manage your financial goals even during the most uncertain times. I'm Joshua Dowden. I've been working with clients here for more than 16 years, and I can help you as well. My office is right here in the heart of Summerlin, just north of Charleston Boulevard. Don't let the stock market determine the quality of your retirement. Call me today for a free consultation. 702-508-6421. That's 702-508-6421.
And I'd like to thank our sponsor, Joshua Dowden from Lucia Capital Group. Appreciate all the sage financial counsel you've given me over the years. And welcome back, Corinne. And before we run out of time, I'd certainly like to talk about the children you get from high schools to volunteer. Now, there's a couple of things. One, how do you find these volunteers? And do they just come in and do they form a bond with one of these children with special needs, or do they come and go and deal with different people? How do you find the volunteers, and how do you match them up with a child with special needs?
Yeah. So we have a ton of amazing youth in our community. Same as Carson City and Elko. Every volunteer that we've had come through our doors are just amazing. And I really believe that the volunteer piece of our program is the magic behind what we do. First, we go out into the community and we recruit our volunteers. So we go into the schools and we provide PowerPoint presentations and we share about the work that we do. And then those youth go home, talk with their parents. If this is something that they're interested in, then they come to us and they receive a formal hands-on training where we go over sort of what we call Rave 101. So what to expect at Rave. And then some basic tools as to how can you de-escalate a child that might be frustrated or overwhelmed. And so we work with those types of skills and strategies with our volunteers. And then they come to us usually once every other week. And some of our volunteers come every week. So they get put on a team. So a Tuesday team 1 or a Tuesday team 2, or sometimes they're on both teams. And they come and they get together and they bond as a team. So they get to know their partners in crime. You know, they know who their staff are and who they can rely on. And then we get to know them really well. What are their likes? What are their dislikes? And so when they come to us for the first 30 minutes, we go over what kids are we going to serve that evening or during that daytime respite session. And we're going to talk about what are their likes and their dislikes. And then we try to pair up volunteer to child that might work really well together. And then for the next 3 hours, they play and they get to be their one-to-one buddy. And really that child gets to be sort of the boss of everything that they do. And our volunteers are there to make sure that they're safe and that they are able to step in and help them communicate and work on sharing and different types of things like that. And then after the kids get picked up, then they get another 30 minutes where they're going to debrief about the day, that session. How did it go? What were our successes? What were our challenges? So they're going to learn from what they just, did for the last 3 hours. They're going to learn specifics about the children that we work with, about their disability, how we can work better with them. And then they're also going to do some team building, because we know that team building is going to create a stronger bond, and it's going to keep our volunteers coming back, week after week to give their time. And last year we had 283 high school students, a few junior high students, and they gave over 6,500 hours to our programs. So collectively, they come in and they're giving anywhere from 32 hours in their school year to over 100 hours and everything in between. And so they come as often as they can. And we really work and strive to have them there about twice a month. So it's incredible. This year, we've already recruited 131 student volunteers have been trained. And we just started our new program year. We're in fiscal year 2024. We started in July, but our new recruit volunteers just came on just this week. We started actually yesterday. We had our first Tuesday session for the 2023-2024 program year, and we're looking forward to another amazing and successful year.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be precisely that, Corinne. And I think that one of the important things that you're doing is these kids who are in school that are coming to help your foundation out, they're learning the importance of at a young age of giving back and hopefully counting their blessings as well.
Absolutely. One of the things I love the most is that they often come to us kind of feeling like, oh, I'm here to do something good for my community. And when they leave, their hearts are so full because they didn't realize how much they were going to get back from what they are giving.
Yeah, well, they always say it's better to give than to receive, and they're learning that lesson very, very young.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that originally you started out with a grant from the state of Nevada. Where do you get your funding from now? I know you have some fundraisers, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but do you get mainly corporate grants or donations from corporations, individuals? Is it mainly from fundraisers?
Um, it's about half and half right now. We do still get a grant from the state of Nevada, the Fund for Healthy Nevada grant. But we also write grants for local foundations like the Redfield Foundation, Envy Energy. We get a grant from the Junior League of Reno. And we're starting to branch out into the communities. Our partnership at the Boys and Girls Club of Western Nevada, they gave us a donation when we started working with them, which was unexpected and so appreciated. We do fundraise, and we do accept just donations, individual gifts, business gifts, corporate gifts. Being a 501c3, you have that ability to have that be a tax write-off. And so any person that wants to support this cause would be able to do so. And then, like you said, we fundraise. And so, always on our toes. Sometimes when you run a nonprofit and you work for a nonprofit, it feels like you're always asking. One of the things the reasons we need funding is that we don't charge our families. So this is a free gift to them. So not only are we reducing stress in the home by providing a break and giving them that time to rest, we're not financially burdening them in the process. One of our families just told us that it costs over $100 to hire a babysitter for them to go on a date, and they just can't afford to do both. So hiring a babysitter, going on a date is just too expensive. And with Rave, they get to do that. And there's no reason to say no to a break because it's for free.
You're providing a very, very valuable service to your community, Corinne, and you're all to be commended for that. Before we leave, I'd like you to give us the information where people can reach out to you and get in touch with you, so John can put it on the screen for viewers who are interested in donating, volunteering, or some viewers who may even want to avail themselves of your services. So could you please share that information, please?
Absolutely. You can find us on the web at nrff.org. We are on Facebook and Instagram. And you could call us at 775-787-3520. And we are always looking to serve more families and children. We are always looking for volunteers, and not just youth volunteers. If you're an adult and you're looking to give back to the community, we'd love to have you as well. We have college interns and college volunteers looking for opportunities as well as experiences. And then we have a board of directors, which is a volunteer position that we have seats to fill. So there's lots of ways to get involved. And of course, the necessary evil of running a nonprofit organization is the financial side of that. And like I said at the beginning, we have had 10 years of a consecutive growth. And that's our way of saying thank you and giving back to the community that supports us by supporting us financially, is that we are showing them that each and every dollar that we raise, that we are able to do more and more each and every year.
I appreciate that, all that information that you shared with us. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on this program, Corinne. I know that it was a little bit of trouble fitting it into your schedule, but I appreciate you taking the time out and spending with us, and wish you continued success with your program. You're doing your work up there, our friends up there in Northern Nevada.
Thank you.
I'd also like to thank our producer, John Stiles, and WWDBTV for allowing me to host this program on their station. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Thomas Dermatology and the Cheer Capital Group, and the third sponsor who will be rounding up this program, RJ Champion, who will have a message, been my business partner for the last 25 years. Finally, I'd like to thank you, the viewers, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this program and found it enlightening and informing. You have the information to reach out if you wish to. Also, if you have any comments or questions for me, email me at stephen@thegiftofgiving.vegas. In the meantime, I hope you have a great week ahead of you. I hope you'll join us next week, where we have a very interesting guest, Kathleen Miller. She runs an organization that provides shelter to pregnant women between the ages of 14 and 24 who find themselves homeless. And I'm sure that will be a fascinating program too. And now, I think that's just about wraps up the program for this week. So be safe, be kind, and thanks for joining, and have a fantastic week.
Mr. R.J. Champion is proud to sponsor WWDB-TV's series, The Gift of Giving, and wishes the program much success. Congratulations and gratitude to the featured guests and the organizations they represent. Our community is well served by your tireless efforts to make Nevada a better state for all its residents.